and welcome to the 1001 Books tag. So this book tag is based on the 1001 Arabian Nights. I saw it recently. I'll leave a link to the original down below. And with that, let's get into the questions and my answers for them. Question number 1 is 1001 lists. Do you follow any book lists? It could be like a prize list or a challenge like the Rory Gilmore challenge. Personally, no, I don't. I try to follow like my own list because I am very, very picky when it comes to books. So I generally just make up my own list kind of thing, and what I want to read I don't usually pay attention to challenges, reading lists or anything like that. Question number 2 is 1001 books. Approximately how many physical books do you own and how many ebooks? Well, there's a lot of physical books and my Goodreads says I own over 1,000 books in total, so I'm pretty sure it's probably about 50-50. Well, maybe more like 400... No, probably more like 300 physical books and maybe about 700 ebooks. A lot of that is comics. A lot of that is comics, to be fair, but it's probably about that. I've got no idea otherwise. It's a lot. I just know that it's a lot, and ironically it's over 1,000. Question number 3 is 1001 books read. Approximately how many books have you read in your lifetime? And also, do you keep track? I keep track now, but as a kid I did not keep track, so I have no idea. I average about 120 a year at this point, most of which is comics, not gonna lie, again. But it's got to be in the last few years, it's probably been about maybe 600-700 in the last few years since I started BookTube. Then I had a huge break while I was in high school because I was busy reading fanfiction, not gonna lie, and I did read obviously a few books for like English, things like that, and then I read a load when I was a kid, so it's probably again around the 1,000 mark. It's probably around there again. Question number 4 is 1001 Arabian Nights. Have you read any stories from the Arabian Nights and do you have a favourite? I have not read any. I have not had the chance to. And also I really struggle with classics. I am not good with classics whatsoever. I've tried Grimm's Fairy Tales recently, I've tried Dracula, I've tried Alice in Wonderland, I've tried Jekyll and Hyde, I've tried quite a few things, and for me personally retellings work best, so I have not read any. But if you have any retellings of the Arabian Nights recommendations, please do leave them down below because I would love some recommendations for retellings. Question number 5 is 1001 flavours. Do you have a favourite food or favourite flavour? I love a proper crunchy roast potato. You know when they're really crunchy on the outside and really soft on the inside? I could eat roast potatoes for the rest of my life. Dairy milk chocolate I could also eat forever. I could live on that. And also I could live on Toad in the Hole. I could live on Toad in the Hole. Especially if it's got like chicken sausages in instead of pork. Chicken sausages or just leftover bits of chicken in a Toad in the Hole. Oh, it's good. It's so I can live on those 3 things for the rest of my life. And takeaway. I can live on all of those things. I could definitely live on those things. Question number 6 is 1001 pages. Have you read a book that's over 1001 pages? Is there one that you recommend and is worth the time? And what is the longest book you've ever read? I've definitely read books over 1001 pages because I've read a lot of the Cosmere, which is horrendously long when you get to the shard stuff, which I've completely forgotten the name of it, but it's like I'll leave the pictures here because I can't remember the name of it, but they're definitely over 1,000 pages and I wouldn't say they are worth it personally. I know that's probably an unpopular opinion. I know Sanderson is really beloved, but for me it was like 1,000 pages of where not much is happening, then 200 pages of action where all the plot twists are, and I just lived for the action and the plot twists, and the 1,000 pages of lead up just annoyed me after a while, especially considering I'd read Elantris, Mistborn and like Warbreaker beforehand, which were considerably shorter but accomplish the same thing essentially. Like, I get why he does like the 1,000-page long epics, but at the same time it's like, get on with it, essentially. So I wouldn't say they are worth it personally. That is an unpopular opinion, I know, but not for me generally at the moment. I prefer Sanderson's shorter work. Question number 7 is 1001 buckets. Do you have a non-bookish bucket list? What is one thing on the list? I'd love to write for Marvel Comics. I would. I mean, obviously I would, but I would love to do something like that. I'd love to like work with them somehow, whether it be on like TikTok, on their social media stuff, or actually physically write a comic for them, specifically like a Doctor Strange or Loki kind of thing, maybe Wanda, things like this. I'd love something like that. But yeah, that's the kind of thing I would love in a non-bookish bucket list. Apart from that, I'd also love to go to San Diego Comic Con. That's one of my main things. I'd love to go to San Diego Comic Con one year. And specifically to be in Hall H during San Diego Comic Con during a Marvel panel. Specifically the panel where they do all of the trailers and the like all the stars come out and all the rest of it. That is the goal. That is the goal for my life. And I'd also like to get into cosplay. I'd definitely like to also get into cosplay. I know that's a lot of bookish, non-bookish bucket listy stuff, but and bookish bucket listy stuff, but that's some of them essentially. I've ironically lost count of which number this is, because the next question is 1001 numbers. Do you have a lucky number, and do you, like, is there a story behind it? And the only thing that keeps on coming to mind is 13, but that's Taylor Swift's lucky number, and I don't have one. I literally don't have one. I keep on gravitating towards the number 17 for no reason, but I wouldn't count that as a lucky number. I just gravitate towards that number for no reason. Next question is 1001 authors, which is, do you have a favourite author and or genre? I mean, clearly fantasy, if you couldn't tell by the shelves, but fantasy is my main genre of choice and my favourite. I don't count comics as a genre. That's more of like a medium kind of thing, format. That's the word I'm looking for. In terms of authors, N.K. Jemisin, after reading the 5th season, the Broken Earth trilogy, I really love that one. V.E. Schwab, obviously. Brian Michael Bendis, he does amazing work for Marvel, or he did amazing work for Marvel. Scotty Young, I love Scotty Young's work. Shauna Maguire, I've got to mention as well. Derek Landy, obviously I've just finished an entire read-along for Derek Landy, so he has to be on the list. Tom Fletcher from McFly, I love his work as well. Obviously I'm a massive McFly fan. Terry Pratchett, if you couldn't tell by the Ineffable t-shirt, I'm a big Good Omens fan, so I love Terry Pratchett's work, specifically his Discworld. I've got to mention Jonathan Hickman and the entire X-Men team at the moment, who are currently running the X-Men lot. Their work is incredible at the moment. I'm loving it. Jason Aaron has done some amazing runs. He specifically did a really good Doctor Strange run recently. I am waiting to read his Thor run for when Thor Love and Thunder comes out, because it's directly based on that. There's literal scenes directly ripped from the comic straight into the movie. I really love Roshani Chokshi as well when she's writing like middle grade. Her YA is slightly more iffy for me, but I reasonably enjoy it. Elle McNichol does amazing work as well. Owen Colfer, I really enjoy as well. Becky Chambers, I love Becky Chambers as well. There's a lot. I have a lot here, but I think that's enough to be getting on with for now. There's a lot. There's ironically probably about 1001 authors, but there we go. Next question is 1001 activities. Do you have a favourite outdoor activity? Do concerts count? Do concerts and going to the cinema count? Because if not, no. I do not do outside. I don't like being outside. I do not like outside. If you couldn't tell by how pale I am, I don't do outside. I do get out of the house, into the car, drive to another building, go into that building, leave, get back into the car, leave, and go back home again. I don't do the outdoor bit. I don't do outdoors. If we're counting outside of the house activities, concerts and the cinema, that is my two places I like to be. But apart from that, no, I don't do outdoor activities, and I certainly don't have a favourite one. And the final question is 1001 friends, tag some friends. So I'm going to be tagging the Dead Famous lot, so that's Hannah, Abby and Lizzie. I'm also going to be tagging Danny in this, and also Ali. So consider yourself all tagged, and also if you just want to do this tag, consider yourself tagged as well. But that is the end of the 1001 books tag, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up, comment down below, tell me your answers to this, I'd love to know. Or if you do have some of those recommendations for me, please leave them down below as well. Or if you don't have that much time, leave me a star emoji down below to let me know that you're here. I'll also leave a link down below to all my social media if you want to check it out, including to the Comic Book Sanctum, which is my website dedicated to Marvel Comics, where I do mention like Brian Michael Bendis, Jason Aaron, Jonathan Hickman, the X-Men team, all the rest of it, and along with a whole load of others if you are interested in that. I'll also leave a link as well down below to my Etsy and Redbubble store, which sells bookish merch and bookish bullet journal stuff if you are interested in that. Or if you just want to see any more of my videos, please click subscribe here, and over here will be the link to my previous video. But until next time everyone, bye!